Hey guys, Kazvik here again, this time with my friend Eric.
Hi, how y'all doing?
And I'm doing my playthrough of Injustice Classic Battles so we can see the endings with the characters, and this time I'm doing it with Green Arrow, actually recording this post-game because some people may know even the normal mode on this game can be pretty challenging, and I find that sometimes it's easier to just focus on playing it and then talking about it later, so that way I can actually focus on commentary rather than gameplay at the same time.
He can't walk and shoot down.
No, I can't. I find it very, very hard to multitask. I can barely hold a conversation while I'm walking.
Anyway, so we've got Arrow versus Bane.
I can see that fight happening.
Yeah, this is actually reasonable right here. And it's completely reasonable that Giganta and Man Smasher, they're fighting in the background too.
Yeah. Although, I will say, I'm using, like, my favorite costumes for each of the characters during my playthroughs. Not guarantee every playthrough is using DLC. But I was a pretty big fan of the Arrow show when it came out, and so using that costume, although it's kind of a toss-up, I think his default good universe costume is pretty cool looking too. I haven't unlocked that many like costume item pieces for him in Injustice 2, but so far I don't like them. I really don't.
Yeah, I've got a few. Mostly I got Superman and Injustice 2 costume pieces.
Yeah.
But that's fine. You know, he's my son's favorite character. He hasn't. I mean, you know, he just likes Superman. You know, never mind that in that second one, it's just the bad Superman. You know.
Yeah, I can't like bring myself to play as Superman in the second one. Like I can play him in the first one because I'll just use his regular outfit, and he actually still acts like Superman. But the second one, I just can't get over. Oh, this is the douchebag one.
Yeah, I've only beaten it. There's like a couple alternate endings. One you gonna beat in that one. Was you beat with Batman or with Superman? I've only done the Batman one so far.
Oh,
But can't wait till we get to that one. So we see. Are we gonna when we get to that one? Are we gonna do both endings?
yeah, we can do both endings. Yeah.
All right, cool.
I haven't seen the ending. I've actually specifically stayed away from playing the story mode too, just for that reason. There's the hot girl costume that you like. That's one of the Earth 2 costumes. I forget exactly how many Earth 2 costumes are in the game. I think Flash has one of them. That's actually one of my favorite costumes for Flash in this game. Jeez.
You just got her in the corner there.
Being cheap as hell.
Oh!
Freaking hard. Now Bruce is going to make me pay for that.
You're Oliver Queen.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Wait, which version? Because in the TV show, his girlfriend has all the money. Or I don't know what it is in season 5. Like, I stopped watching that, like, sometime after the halfway point of season 4.
He could get money. I think he was in a cartoon in the comics. Where was it? He had a corporation and he sold it, right? But he was still like a billionaire or something.
Yeah, I think so. I know he became mayor in the comics, too.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Mayor of what? Star City?
Yeah, Star City. And he actually became the mayor in the show, too. And that was one of the main story points of 4. Like, I don't know, how much of Arrow have you seen?
I'm in the second season. I was watching The Flash for a while, and then I stopped on that one because, you know, they have several crossover episodes with Arrow and Flash.
Oh, you stopped at one of the crossovers?
Yeah, because I'm like, wow, I missed a lot. I need to get back to Arrow. You know?
That happened with me and Jenny. We were watching the first season of Flash, and we saw the crossovers with Arrow, and we're like, what is this? We don't... So then after that, then we go back and watch Arrow, and we're like, oh, okay, so that's who Felicity is.
They're very good shows. I really enjoy them. I really enjoy the characters. I think I'll give it to Flash more.
Yeah, most people do.
I mean, it's definitely funnier, you know.
Well, once you actually get around to watching season 3 and 4 of Arrow, then you'll be like, yeah, Flash is definitely better, because season 3 and 4 are kind of a letdown. Like, even by the time they got around to season 4, Steve Amell, the actor, was like, yeah, we didn't really like 4. There was too much magic in it and stuff.
There's magic in the DC universe.
Well, the problem is, like, think of how many of the Green Arrow's main villains he has. Like, name his main villains off the top of your head. Exactly. He doesn't have many, does he?
Yeah, Deadshot, I guess.
He should be. He actually really should be one of his bigger villains, but sadly he isn't. But I think he should because you think about it, they're pretty much the same. There's just one uses a bow and arrow, one uses a gun. That's the only main difference. They're both snipers that are good at hand-to-hand combat. But I think people think of Deadshot more as a Batman villain.
Merlin was it. Merlin was his villain.
Yeah, Merlin is his big villain, and then Count Vertigo. And they did Merlin correctly in the show. He was his main antagonist.
He was better than him.
And but they completely screwed Count Vertigo in the TV show. He's nothing like he's supposed to be in the comic books. He's not even good as a redesign. Like if they redesigned him and he was good, I'd give him a pass. But he's just a drug dealer that sells a drug called Vertigo. He has no abilities, no powers, he's not even rich or has good hand-to-hand. He's just nothing like.
He's just kind of crazy like the Joker.
Yeah.
He's dangerous because he's crazy and will do anything.
Yeah, it's like you could do that with a bunch of other villains.
You do that with the Joker.
Yeah, I really didn't like how they did Count Vertigo in the Arrow show. I really did. Which stinks because he's one of Arrow's more prominent villains.
What are his powers? And I just don't know. I've heard the name, but I'm not real familiar with Vertigo.
Well, let's see here. Some version he's rich. Some versions he's a member of royal family overseas, and he has diplomatic immunities. But he always has that robotic eye that can cause anyone around him to become very dizzy, and then he can turn it up to the point where they get completely disoriented and sick from their equilibrium being completely thrown off.
Can they close their eyes and fight blind?
I don't know. I don't know if they've ever done that. Because, like, in the series of the Batman, whenever they did Season 5 and he was doing team-ups with all the Justice League members, Robin got so sick that he literally just, like, almost passed out and fell into a river. So
Well, that's from all the Batman scheme, right? Like, you know Ray Matrix. He's so depressed all the time, sad.
But, yeah, as far as, like, the villains they chose for the series goes, it's like, they took so many Batman villains for that show. They did Firefly, they did Ra's al Ghul, they did the Clock King, and yeah, they did Anarchy. They ripped off a lot of
Anarchy. That's cool.
and Anarchy. They did a lot of obscure Batman villains in that show. It's like, well, they're just making it pretty obvious they're ripping off Batman the whole time.
This one seems like a reasonable fight. Here we're talking about the show, and we're supposed to be talking about this game.
yeah, actually fighting Nightwing, that fight makes sense.
That does. I mean, it would be a good fight, I think. You know, I mean, this version of Oliver Queen, where he's actually a real good hand-to-hand.
Actually, the funny thing is, it's actually like the New 52 comic book version of Nightwing. So it's like neither of these costumes actually belong to this game. Which, I don't know, I'm not really a big fan of the New 52 look. I don't know, I guess I just think Nightwing looks better in black and blue.
Yeah, I mean, that's classic. It's been like that since, maybe the 70s or something. I don't know, a long time.
Yeah. But I don't know, and that's not me being biased towards my own colors.
Yes, it is.
I like red and black, but it's just for specific colors, I think, for specific characters, I think they look better in different colors.
Black Adam.
That fight is completely unreasonable. Arrow should just get him. He should be incinerated in this fight.
He's got the super speed. I don't care how fast Arrow thinks he can shoot.
I have returned.
Arrows,
Yeah. Probably going to this fight just like, help me! Superman said. Oh wait, he's just as bad here. You see in the back they got the Arkham City Hugo train. They took a lot of elements from the Arkham series that they didn't want to redesign in this game. Like the Batmobile, the other Arkham inmates, a lot of them are from that series.
That's fine. I mean, it may not have been necessarily that they didn't want to redesign them. It's just that they knew what was popular. They knew that the gamers liked that, you know? I mean, I have fond memories of those first couple games, you know?
Yeah, they're pretty good character designs, and honestly, if they're already done and they can be used, why not? It just saves them on time that they can spend doing other stuff. So, yeah, I had no problem with that. I actually thought it was kind of cool. Sad part is that's actually one of my favorite Batmobile designs, and they hardly ever use that Batmobile for anything else. But yeah, I actually found out recently they're supposed to be putting Nightwing in like the Arrowverse. I don't know what show he's getting or if he's getting his own or something, but I was actually pretty excited when I heard that. But I actually really need to get caught up with Arrow again, because they're in like their 5th season, and I didn't even finish season 4. Me and Jenny have been bigger fans of like Supergirl and Flash.
Now I'm wondering, there again, would that even affect him? Would that...
Probably not. Like what would he fear?
It's not even a matter of fear. I mean, I'm talking about just the biology involved, you know?
Oh yeah, because it's magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I have not seen this at all. Here it comes. I don't think I have.
The stage, or?
Yeah, this one right here.
Oh, it's, I guess like, I don't know, it's hard to explain.
Oh, okay. This is the, okay, I recognize the kitchen. Okay.
It's supposed to be Arkham Asylum, but this stage is actually like an abandoned, like, theater in Arkham somewhere. Like, they use this specific stage in the story mode, and it's not Arkham Asylum. But they just kind of combine the two together.
Okay, see, once I saw the pig,
yeah, they played a little fast and loose.
Now, I might be firing off my own fireworks after winning that one.
Like,
that guy goes toe-to-toe with Superman, you know?
I actually remember, was it the opening animation of DC Universe Online? And Black Adam's like whooping everyone's butt. Superman just gets finished recharging near the sun. He flies down and just completely whoops Black Adam.
Oh, as it should be.
Yeah. Oh, this is one of my more difficult fights.
It still seems reasonable.
Batgirl, yeah, she has a lot of anti-range abilities. Every single time I pull out my arrow to try to shoot her, she keeps teleporting. So annoying. But then again, it's like, she was kind of required because too many characters were zoning in this game whenever, like, even in the pro scenes, a lot of them were like, yeah, the zoning is so good, you just can't not do it. So, yeah, I think she was kind of essential, and it was kind of sad to see them take her out and not put her in the next one. But, yeah, they put in Supergirl, and they gave her a similar ability where she, like, flies across the planet and then appears on the other side of the screen. So it's like she can serve a similar purpose. Actually, one of the reasons I like using Supergirl so much in the second one. But yeah, I was sad to see Batgirl was not going to be in the sequel. Like her and Doomsday.
She's taking it to you, man.
Yeah, she's kicking my butt pretty good.
I guess Doomsday gets thrown in the Phantom Zone, right? So
yeah.
That's why he's not next.
Actually, that's the reason why Starfire hasn't been in the stories, because she's apparently been in the Phantom Zone the entire time. But I guess they're gonna write it into where she got out, and that's why she's gonna be DLC. Whereas Beast Boy's been dead.
Where's that ever stopped in the superhero?
Well, in the Injustice comics, apparently they almost stay dead completely.
Almost.
Well, the only exception...
They were right there.
The only exception is Green Arrow, and it's not like he came up back to life. They just got another Green Arrow from another dimension.
He's not worth the trouble to bring back to life, apparently.
Well, the thing is, like, the story was Black Canary was sad, and she was getting hunted by Superman, so they just sent her to another dimension where she was dead, and their Oliver Queen was alive, and they kind of raised that son together, but then they came back to the Injustice universe after Superman was beaten.
Sounds legit.
Yeah, for people that don't know why Green Arrow is in the second game, that's why.
Images.
And have the fight with the Joker. Another fight that actually seems perfectly reasonable.
Yeah.
The problem with Joker is he's another zoning character, and he is freaking annoying.
With an arrow to the knee. You never stop his adventuring ways.
Problem is he's got skinny knees.
I mean, that might be a problem for me shooting an arrow, but the man is Green Arrow.
The second best archer in comic book history. I'm sorry, Hawkeye. He does some ridiculous stuff. That's not even me just being a Marvel fanboy. That's just, at this point, fact. What was it? That one comic where he was bullseyeing on the Devil's Carousel, as they call it. What the heck was that thing?
I don't know. You're gonna have to tell me. I haven't heard. This is the
Oh,
first time hearing about it.
They showed it in the death battle between Green Arrow and Hawkeye, and he was on this like wild carnival ride contraption and being flung all over the place, and he's still bullseyeing the targets while he's being flung through the air. I was like, what the? Pretty ridiculous. Ow. Yeah, he should be dead. He should be dead and in 50 pieces. At least. Yeah, I don't know if they ever used this stage in the story mode, actually.
I don't remember it. What's that they're building? Looks like a chess piece or something.
I think so. For who, though? That's the question. Yeah, I wish I could actually like zoom in as we're recording this, but I can't. But this is supposed to be like. Man, I wish I could go back and see what stage we started off in. I think we started off in like one of the Justice League hidden bases. Yeah, I forget. It's at that point where if you were Green Arrow, wouldn't you call up Bruce and be like, "Hey, I just beat your main villain. Come and pick him up."
No, if I were Green Arrow, I'd probably just off Joker and like, look, I don't know what happened. I mean, I was shooting for his shoulder, and then he moved. I mean, you know how unpredictable he is. Can't predict where. Normally, I can predict where these guys are gonna be, but not him.
I fired my arrow, and then he ducked, and it just landed in his head. Wait, that's the story. Then that means you were aiming at his chest. Maybe.
I was just gonna puncture a lung. I mean, he can walk. I mean, he just walked off.
My hand slipped. I went for the punching glove arrow. Accidentally pulled out an explosive arrow. The armor-piercing explosive arrow. Shot it right in the head. Then he walks away under his breath.
He welcomes the people
Of Gotham. Yeah. I remember there was actually one comic where Gordon finally shot the Joker, and he was kind of like, "He broke into my house, I had no choice," and then the Joker survived because he had like some super serum at the time. I was like, "Are you serious? The one time someone finally offs Joker and he lives."
Jeez.
Ugh. It's like a freaking bad joke.
Pretty ironic for the Joker. This here seems a reasonable fight as well.
I guess it depends on what version of Harley Quinn, because some versions she still can't fight.
Well, she doesn't have any power. It seems like I said, as far as Green Arrow is used to fighting street villains, she seems like
Time for the
this seems like this wouldn't be too far up his league.
Well, yeah, the Suicide Squad movie version is much better fighter than she really should be. Spot, what you doing? Sorry, my dog's running around doing some crazy stuff. Eating my feet. Eating my socks.
So, that's Batman. I'd say it'd be reasonable, but
He's mad I took down Joker and Harley Quinn for him.
well, if you would have got the job done the first 20 times, 200 times, whatever, how many times you face him, get mad at me since I finished your job for you.
Just hit him with an explosive batarang, be done with it, seriously.
I'm thinking the people at Arkham would look the other way.
I mean, I think let Harley Quinn go. But seriously, Joker, he kind of needs to die. There is a certain point where when you leave these criminals alive, you're putting the citizens at danger, and that's more of like...
Well, it's clear you can't contain them either.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything's clear, it's that.
But at the same time, it's like Batman actually does have a lot of villains that, in some shape, form, or fashion, in different media, get reformed at one point. Like the ventriloquist became a kid's entertainer. Harley went the straight and narrow eventually. Yeah. What is it? The Riddler in the comics became a detective. In the animated series, Penguin became a club owner, and his business was legitimate. And he actually does have a lot of villains that, you know, will turn good and stay that way, but he's got some that are just never going to change their mind. Joker's one of them.
That's quite the body.
Yeah, I think if there's ever a list of villains that should probably just be dumped into a cell and thrown in a black hole, Joker and Doomsday are the first two on the list. And then probably Darkseid.
Here it comes.
Yeah, I remember Superman had a chance to let Darkseid die. Darkseid got in a fight with Doomsday, and Doomsday
Was whooping his butt out there.
nearly killed him. And so Superman had a mother box, and he had the mother box, heal Darkseid. And he was thinking to himself, said, no one would ever think badly of me if I just let him die.
You made a vow never to kill someone. Yeah, I don't remember you making a vow to let someone die. Freaking Batman does that all the time. I don't have to save you. Pretty sure that's murder, just saying.
What was it? The KG Beast. You ever hear that one?
I've heard of him. I don't remember him too well.
Yeah, I mean, it was during the Cold War and everything. And Batman had him trapped, like, in somewhere underground, I think. And just left him there. There's no way out. So, guess he died in that prison.
Yeah, sounds like it. But
I'm guessing you have kryptonite arrows or some such.
yeah, he had the kryptonite arrow from the Dark Knight Returns comics. Although at least this time he has two hands to fire with.
His suit's green.
Actually, it kind of makes sense to where whenever you have a storyline with Superman going bad, Green Arrow would always be one of the first ones taken out, because he is a very outspoken, brutally honest individual who pretty much stands up to anyone whenever he feels like they're in the wrong.
I think, what was it? They said Green Arrow was originally supposed to... Was it like he... I don't know when he first arrived in the comics, doesn't it? He was supposed to be almost, the Hal Jordan Green Lantern's conscience. He was the word on the street. And I think there's one comic where he accuses Hal Jordan of being racist because he's only, he only seems to help in the nicer neighborhoods.
Oh, yeah.
Here it comes.
But, there's all these, but then, there's all these slums and everything, like high crime areas, which are also a lot of minority areas. Mm-hmm. And he'll stop purse snatching, but he would. But there's like gangs and crap he could take.
Yeah, it's more street level crime. Is more like Batman and Green Arrow thing. I mean, I can kind of understand, but if you're gonna go down and help with regular crime, you shouldn't discriminate where you go.
I would think that, if you are going to do the vigilante thing and get away with it, no consequences as far as just the crime of vigilantes, I mean, then yeah, you should really go for the people that need you the most.
Yeah, like, what is the line that they draw? Like, where is a vigilante begin, like, from, like, public arrest and stuff like that? They don't really ever define that, do they?
I don't know.
Another one bites the dust. You ever notice how, like, some of the best Superman stories are stories where he either turns bad or he's afraid of turning bad? Think about it. Like in the
After the fall of Superman,
original series, it was, or not the original, but in the Justice League, it was the Justice Lords that probably did one of his best storylines.
one of the first to object to the Man of
Wasn't
Steel's
it? I mean,
new tactics and
I don't think I saw that episode. I think I no, I don't think I have that.
face.
I mean, I have like I've seen all of Justice League Unlimited. I hadn't seen all of Justice League.
Oh yeah, well they start that story in Justice League. But I actually really like this ending for Green Arrow. Like he finds out that they don't have a Green Arrow in their world, so he trains the Red Arrow of that universe.
Got the fallen hero's mantle. Let Star City's
It's
criminal
actually a pretty cool story. It kind
belongs to
of ties in with his own story and brings Red Arrow into it somehow.
Although green would probably be better for the night.
Yeah,
It just seems like it blended. If you were to choose between green and red.
yeah, Red stands out way too much.
Alright. Yeah,
Alright,
that's
well,
it for that one, right?
Yep. Alright, well I guess I'll see you guys next time.
Later.